Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Routine Podcast.
Gymnastics Conversations.
I'm Chelsea.
And I'm Chelsea's mom, Diana.
And we're back for episode 52.
And a little depressed. Although I'm happy. Obviously, I'm happy. But oh my gosh, that was sad last night.
Yeah, there was a big weekend of meets.
It was. And we waited to record because we were not ourselves.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, I think you were a little in shock too. I think everybody was in shock.
Right. We're referring to Florida not making it to nationals. Yeah. But I feel like I had just expended all of my emotions in like the first 3 regionals because it was like a lot at once.
It was. That
by the time the Corvallis regional started, I didn't know where I was, what was happening. Yeah. Mom was half asleep on the couch already.
I was. And I think it was like 10 o'clock East Coast time when it actually came on.
Yeah.
Like you said, we had watched some of the other teams throughout the, days before it. And I think you had gone upstairs or something.
I think I even told you, this regional, it's not that exciting.
Exactly. That's exactly what you did. And then so I was watching it. You were right. I was half asleep, but I was watching it and one person fell and I'm like, okay. And then the second person fell and I'm like, wait.
Mom and I literally just looked at each other like,
yeah, this can't be good.
Yeah.
But then you gave me hope.
I did.
You said, Mom, it's okay. They've got a lot of time to catch up. They just have to be on the rest of the meet.
And what I was thinking in my head, for all you OG gym nerds, is back in 2013, I think it was, during the Super 6 finals, Florida fell twice and came back and won.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Won the national title.
Seriously?
Yeah.
2 falls?
Yes.
Was it on beam too?
I think it was.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And then they came back and just killed it. So I was like, they've done this before.
Yeah, you did say that.
And I knew like the teams that they were up against,
they could do it.
Yeah, they could beat them.
Well, what was interesting too is after that happened and you said, no worries, Mom, they'll come back. I actually went to sleep.
Yeah, Mom was snoring and everything.
I was sound asleep. And then the 4th event comes and for whatever reason, I wake up and I look at Chelsea and I'm like, how's Florida doing?
Yeah, like randomly you woke up like right as like the second to last person was competing on floor.
Yeah, and I'm hopeful. I'm like, how's it going?
Yeah.
And you just shake your head.
Yeah, because I was still trying to process everything like, okay, like, is it really over? Like, can they still win? Like, what's happening?
Yeah.
And I was on Twitter and everybody was freaking out.
Yeah.
And Mom was like, what's going on?
Yeah, I missed
was like,
all of it.
I can't like attend to you right now, Mom. This is like a major crisis in the gym world.
Yeah. And then when you said it's not good, that's when I like immediately set up.
Mom woke up.
Like, what happened? You said that they could come back. You said all they have to do is be really good and they can come back.
I had faith.
Yeah.
And they were really good, but so were the other teams.
Yeah, that's the point we didn't count on.
No.
But we're happy for Denver.
We are ecstatic for Denver.
We're happy for Oregon State.
We are really happy for Oregon State.
We're just sad.
We're also very sad
for Florida. It still hurts.
Yeah, I can't really imagine what they're actually feeling like.
No.
Well, thanks for coming to today's episode, guys. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Oh, gosh, Amadi. And, for me, always, I think about the gymnast, I think about the coaches, but I think about the moms and the dads because you've got plane tickets, you've got hotels booked. And you have to kind of face this reality of, do we still go?
Yeah.
Because it'll be beautiful gymnastics, but my daughter won't be there. And it's just very depressing. I've been there before.
Yeah, you have, actually.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't feel good.
And I think we also have to mention Alabama.
Yeah,
They lost by like less than a half a tenth to Michigan.
Less than a half a tenth.
And the last time they didn't go to nationals as a team was, I think, back in 1980.
Oh, my gosh. I don't know if I like this new format. I'm just going to say that. I don't know if I like this.
I do. It's very cutthroat.
Yes,
don't get me wrong.
Clearly.
It really is. But, it's like we've been saying all season. there's no defense in gymnastics. And what really matters, especially in postseason, is that you have to be good on the day that it counts.
Yeah. And I don't know if there are other sports like that.
All of them.
Well, no, I have a team of 5 of us that if I'm not that good, and I'm talking about basketball, obviously, if I'm not that good, my other teammates can be good and it can help me. But if I'm on that beam by myself.
Okay, well, yeah, I think those are two separate like arguments.
Okay.
Yes, the individual aspect of gymnastics is very hard and a lot of pressure on an individual.
Right.
But like every other sport, in March Madness, if a team isn't good, whenever they face an opponent during March Madness, they're out. That's the end of the tournament for them. And it's the same thing in gymnastics.
Yes, but this isn't a tournament.
It is.
This is who goes to nationals.
I know, but if you look at the bracket, ideally it's a tournament at the end of the day.
March Madness to me is different though.
Yeah, but there's still first round, second round, third round, fourth round.
But that's not nationals.
I know, but the Final Four is equivalent to nationals.
It just feels different. It feels, and again, I mean, part of it is everybody has equal opportunity to be great.
Yeah.
But the margin for error in the individual sport of gymnastics is razor thin.
It is. And you don't get another chance.
No.
It is what it is.
It is. I can't think of what's like that where you strive for that perfectionism every single time. And who can do that? Sarah Finnegan.
Oh, gosh.
Kyla Ross.
Well, they're like superhuman.
Right? So anyways, I mean, we're crying over spilled milk here. And, I wonder if we should be surprised. It was a team of underclassmen and they had a lot of pressure on them. And no one knows how they're going to perform under that kind of pressure. And that's what this was. This was the pressure to make it to nationals. And it was the pressure of what was expected of them. And that's really tough when you don't have that kind of experience under your belt.
But looking towards the future, they'll never forget that meet.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And it will only make them stronger.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And it is just a sport.
It's just a sport, even though I kind of hate that saying.
I know.
But, life is a lot bigger than just gymnastics.
Yeah, and I think we have that perspective. Obviously, there was a really horrible injury for a gymnast.
Oh, yeah.
And so we do have that perspective that at the end of the day, all the young ladies from Florida are going home healthy, sad but healthy. And that wasn't the case for one of the gymnasts.
Yeah. Whoo! Can we
lighten it up?
Let's take a step back, Can we recap our last episode? Some of the tweets that we got?
Oh, that's a good idea. We I always do that. Yeah. Just jump right in. But you know why? It's because my emotions are like always just at the surface. And so they always just like come out. It's just like, bleh. They do. Just like, bleh, there it is on the table.
As soon as we turn the mics on, Mom's ready.
Yeah. But I think that's how people felt too. I mean, we're all just kind of not happy.
Yeah.
But we are happy for Oregon. I just want to make sure I say that.
Totally.
To be the 15th in the country and to go to nationals.
And that's the name of the game.
It is.
They didn't break the rules, nothing.
They performed.
Yeah.
They performed under the same pressure. Mm-hmm. Although I do think, and again, we'll go to the tweets, but something that you said earlier today, there's this question about all of the teams who competed at their home gyms are going to nationals. Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
The home team advantage.
Yeah.
Which I think in some regionals was very evident compared to others. But I think it's definitely something that needs to be evaluated in the future.
Yeah. Because if you're after everything being equal, having home court advantage doesn't make everything equal.
No, definitely not.
No. So
especially for teams that bring in thousands upon thousands of fans.
Right. Right. And not only do you have the fans and bands and students, but you also have equipment familiarity.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with this equipment.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that is something to think about.
Yeah. So anyways, back to our last episode. If you guys remember, we interviewed Lindsey Brown, Maddie Carr, and head coach Melissa Kuchar-Reinhardt from the University of Denver.
Fun interview.
So much fun. And we got a lot of great feedback from it. Do you want to read the first tweet from Maria?
So, yeah, exactly. Hi, Maria. Maria wrote, yes, great interviews. Lindsey and Maddie were fantastic. Rooting for them all weekend.
We also got a tweet from Steph Says. She did want to remind us that she is here. She is listening. And she said, I'm most excited for the travel tales post-nationals, to be honest. I mean, the gymnastics is good too, but I'm really here for the travel.
Hopefully it will be the most boring travel
right? Yes.
that you've ever heard, Steph. Yeah. There is nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
Nothing to see here. That's the goal for this travel.
We don't want to exceed your expectations for your travel.
That's right. We want to underwhelm you with our travel.
Yes.
And then... This is so funny. This is from a tweet from Kenty Mack, but I have to start by saying, I don't know, 3 hours before, maybe 2 hours before the LSU meet, I'm just minding my own business, doing a little work around the house. Chelsea's told me what time the meet's on. And Chelsea sends me a link for an article.
Just the link.
Just the link. She doesn't tell me anything that it's about. And, you know, as always, I kind of click the link and because I don't know if it's something I need to know about, you know, when we record. And I click it and like the first, can we just like read the first of this article?
The title is LSU Gymnastics enters NCAA competition on a roll, but there is some drama to contend with.
Okay, so that's how it starts, right? And so I read on.
The NCAA Gymnastics Regional at LSU started Thursday in the Pete Maravich Assembly Center with the play-in meet between George Washington and Lindenwood. The real drama was next door at the LSU practice facility. Here was LSU coach Dee Bro dashing out the door because her daughter had just gone into labor with her second child. Then there was senior Sarah Finnegan wearing a mask and wrapped up in a blanket because she had come down with the flu, leaving her unable to practice. And over there was fellow senior Lexi Priesman, who wrenched the same bicep in practice Thursday that she hurt at Kentucky, an injury that kept her out of the LSU lineup for 3 weeks.
Exactly. So that's what I read. And I don't even think it was 3 hours before the meet. I think it was like a half hour before the meet.
No. It was like in the afternoon because I actually read this article the morning of the meet. And as I was reading it, like my heart was actually kind of sinking. And I was like, I can't show mom this.
No.
And then I started getting multiple tweets from you guys asking if mom was okay. And I was like, I have to send her the article.
So she did. And I read this. And it's like, I can't breathe. And I'm just, you know, I'm visualizing this picture in my head of Sarah in a corner with a mask, Dee grabbing her bag and rushing out the door because her daughter's in delivery, and Lexi injured. And I'm thinking, oh,
what the heck? Right. Regionals is called off. Let's do it again next weekend.
It was so bad. And so this tweet is Kenty Mack, who says in big letters, has someone checked in on Diana?
Hashtag safety check. Hashtag this mom tweets. Hashtag pray for Sarah.
And Kenty, you were so on. You were so on. And I, for obviously the rest of the day, it was just like, I don't know.
And it was funny because after everyone had sent me the article and said, how's your mom? What's going on? And then mom sent a text back to me, I'm going to throw up.
I did. I forgot about that.
And so I like posted an update to Kent. I was like, update on mom. She now feels like she's going to vomit.
It was so true.
It was just, I don't know. I mean, obviously it's gold content for the writer of the article.
Yeah, he was a good writer.
Yes.
He put me in the arena.
Yeah.
Just no question. He just put me right there watching it all.
But everybody in the gym was probably like, this is the worst day to have media in the gym.
But we can fast forward to say that It was all good. Although Sarah did look very ill.
She did. She didn't look her best.
She did not look like she felt well at all. She looked like she needed a bed and a warm blanket and a pillow.
Yes, she just needed some rest.
And her mom.
So should we just hop right into a little recap of regionals? I think
that's a great idea.
There was a lot going on, so we won't go over all of them.
No, but it was exciting. Maybe too much excitement, quite frankly.
And it was so hard because they did all of them basically within an hour of each other.
Right. Some overlapping each other.
Yeah.
So from Thursday till Saturday, it was just nuts.
It was crazy, but so much good gymnastics. I think both of our brackets were all good until the Corvallis Regional.
I think mine was off on the...
Oh, yeah. You said Stanford would advance to the regional final, which they did not.
No.
But mine was good until the Corvallis Regional.
Yeah. Everybody's bracket was probably good until that.
Yeah.
I don't know what the Las Vegas odds are on that one, but I bet it was, if you played that one, you had a pretty good payout.
Yeah. So I think we should just discuss the regional finals. The first one was the Georgia Regional.
Yay, Sabrina Vega.
Yes, Sabrina did amazing.
I just, we had talked about this morning. Sabrina's swag is just something to behold.
I think Mom, runner-up for favorite gymnast, obviously behind Sarah Finnegan, is Sabrina Vega.
I think it is. And just watching her over the last couple of days solidified that. Because each time, Georgia needs her score. And not only do they need her score, they need her high score. And so each time, she doesn't look like she's nervous or anything. She gets the game face on. And then, boom. And then after it's over, it's like, yeah.
She delivers like it's nothing.
Every single time.
Yeah.
But I do think, we also have to just give a shout out to Georgia, period.
Yeah. So in this regional final was Georgia, Kentucky, Oklahoma, and Cal. Obviously, Oklahoma was on a whole nother playing field.
Oh my gosh. And again, I don't think we should negate this at all. I don't think we should go past it at all. Any team that competes the way Oklahoma competes and what they did for 2 days straight.
Yeah.
The excellence of gymnastics, where they start with a 9-9 and only go higher for the next 5 gymnasts.
Yeah, Oklahoma is going to be really, really hard to beat this year.
I think their close meets against Florida, against Denver, I think it was great for them because it put them in a whole different gear, mindset and physically, to where they need to be. And boy, did you see it.
Yeah, I feel like they are definitely stronger than they've ever been so far this season.
No question.
They're definitely their strongest now, which is really awesome for them.
I'm just going to say this again, Chelsea. They start with a score of 9-9 with the first gymnast.
Yeah, Nicole Lehrman was fantastic this weekend.
Anastasia Webb. She started with a 9-9 on floor. I mean, it's just...
Maggie got a 10.
Maggie got a 10 on bars.
Did she?
She did. Boomer Sooner Nation. Oh my gosh. And I just think hats off to Oklahoma.
But I think this brings up the point of the home advantage.
Home field advantage.
Because Cal had an incredible meet as well. They had a program record.
Yeah, they did.
Well, I think there were 2 things going on. I think generally the scores across the board at the Georgia Regional were very inflated.
Okay. Really?
I mean, it was like a standard for everyone to get a 9-9 on floor.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Right?
I didn't pay attention to it, but if you say so.
Yeah, it was very easy to get a 9-9 on floor.
Okay.
Which I don't think should be the case when there are 4 judges on the floor.
But was that with every single team?
Yeah, every team.
All right.
And I think it really could have gone either way between Georgia and Cal. Mm-hmm. I just think because Georgia was at home, it really was kind of in their court.
It made the difference.
Yeah.
I mean, you have, like you said, 2 things. You have kind of home court advantage. I'm used to equipment. I'm used to the fans. I'm used to, being here. And then you also have judges advantage as well. So. Mm-hmm.
And I think this was actually the most controversial regional of the weekend.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
because Cal, like I said, showed up.
Well, yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They did. I watched that meet, obviously. I didn't watch it in the way you did in terms of kind of the scoring aspects of it. I think for me, I was just overwhelmed with Oklahoma's dominance.
Yeah, like Oklahoma really was in their own meet. Like they were just playing against themselves.
And it was a 198.5 or something?
I think it was 198.475.
Right. 198.5, basically.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, I get you on the scoring stuff, but at the end of the day, Oklahoma.
Yeah, and Kentucky did very well as well.
Kentucky did well. The thing is, all of them did well.
Mm-hmm.
And it would have been a very competitive meet with the exception of Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. It was really just like who's going to get second at this point.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. So that was a really fun regional to watch. Also at the same time was UCLA, Alabama, Michigan, and Nebraska.
Yes.
Which we weren't able to watch.
No, but you were doing the whole tweet thing. So every time Kyla got one of her 10s, you'd be like, Kyla got a 10. Yeah. I'm like, on what this time? And then you're like, Kyla got another 10.
But that was a really, really, really close meet as well.
Without UCLA, right? UCLA dominated, just like Oklahoma dominated.
Not as much as Oklahoma dominated.
Well, that would be hard to do as much as Oklahoma dominated.
But they did dominate the field.
I mean, at the end of the day, you got to give it to these two schools. I mean, there's just no question about their dominance and their capability.
Mm-hmm. And then where kind of the heartbreaker comes in is Michigan was at home. They scored a 197.275.
Which is a really good score.
Really good. And then Alabama got third with 197.225.
It's not even a step.
Yeah. So it's so hard. And we've been saying this ever since this new format where there's got to be a line where not everyone's going to be able to make it to nationals.
I agree, but I still say I hate this new format.
I think you may be in the minority with this.
Well, I think Alabama and Florida probably hate this new format.
But it's the rules. Like, what else do you want? Not everyone can get a participation award.
I want another chance.
No, that's not how it works.
I don't care.
And Nebraska finished fourth with a 196.65. I wish Nebraska was a little bit more competitive in the final. But one thing I think really deserves attention is Taylor Houchin's Yurchenko 1.5.
Wasn't that gorgeous? Right?
It should have been a 10.
Mm-hmm.
Should have been a 10.
Yep.
But she'll be at nationals as an individual.
And she can get a 10 then.
Yes. It was. If you guys haven't seen it, I'll link it on the website. It is fantastic.
Can I just say something else about the format? You know, you've got this Thursday meet thing that goes on.
Which is only 2 teams.
Yeah. And let's think about that for a second. Assuming that these teams perform at the best of their ability, expecting them to be able to compete for 3 days in a row, that's just like nonsensical.
It is, but the probability of you moving on to Saturday's final is very unlikely.
Then why do it? That's my point. Why?
Well, that's the point.
Why risk injury by having gymnasts compete 3 days in a row?
Because you know to say that you made it to regionals.
Right. As you said, if I'm competing on Thursday, I'm not one of those top teams to begin with. Right. But now you've tripled my chances of not doing it by saying I've got to do these skills 3 days in a row.
Yeah, but you're not doing it 3 days in a row.
I'm Thursday, I'm Friday, I'm Saturday. If I win, if my team wins.
Okay, but the probability of that happening is very, very slim.
Then why put it in there to begin with?
So you're just saying they shouldn't even make regionals to begin with?
I don't think the Thursday thing makes sense to me. That's all I'm saying. If I'm the coach of one of these Thursday night teams or Thursday day teams, I'm saying, come on, guys, we can do this. Let's keep going so we can compete for the next 3 days.
No, see, that's where I think you're wrong because for some teams, it's not about making it to Saturday's final. for example, for Lindenwood, I'm pretty sure they knew they weren't going to make it to Saturday's final. But for them, it was about making it to regionals in the first place as a Division II team.
That's a participation award then.
No, because
after that, you're kind of done.
No, but for other Division II teams, you don't even make it to regionals. So it's like you celebrate the little victories. It's not about being the best all the time. It's being the best for your team.
Okay, so then I win Thursday night. What's my expectation?
You're ecstatic because not only did you make it to regionals, but you made it to the second round.
And then what's my expectation?
Doing the best you can on Saturday.
But we're not going to win.
It's not all about winning. Mom, you sound terrible.
I'm just saying, I just doesn't make sense.
No, I mean, I understand where you're coming from, so where it's like, why even put it out there if it's probably not going to happen?
That's right.
But that's not what it's about. It's about doing the best that your team can do.
I think we've argued enough. That's a question I think we should ask our listeners.
Do you like the new regional format?
Or do you think there should be a Thursday set of meets?
I mean, there is like discussions going around where it just doesn't make sense to have gymnasts just keep competing just to compete.
Like what I just said, dear.
But there's obviously a lot of things that need to be addressed because the whole point of doing this new format is to have better exposure to the greater population. Mm-hmm. But we couldn't even view half the meets.
Right.
So you missed the mark there.
So there's some things. Now, at the end of the day, obviously, it was beautiful meets. But I do think there are some things that still need to be tweaked. Just like we're talking about the home advantage piece, which you said, and I agreed with. I said the Thursday thing, which you're like,
which I don't agree with.
Fine, but that doesn't mean you need to discount me in the way in which you have.
I know.
And then after like 5 minutes of argument, say, well, there are people in the Twitter universe who are agreeing with you, Mom.
I mean, it is all about the athlete's safety.
Absolutely.
And keeping them healthy.
Thank you. And so 3 days of meets doesn't do that.
I think I was just looking at your point, and the way that you were coming off is saying, well, you're never going to make it, so why even try?
No, that's not how I said it.
That's how I interpreted it, so I apologize.
You weren't listening.
But I think the entertainment value of this new format is a lot better.
I agree with that. And the whole fact that we don't have to do the whole buys at nationals obviously is going to be good as well.
But I guess that goes back to your point where it's really not about how we feel as viewers and how it's a better viewing experience for us. Really, we should be asking what's the best thing for the gymnast.
Well, and I think you've shared with me before that the buys aren't good for the gymnast either. No. So I think in that case, you're kind of killing two birds with one stone.
The other regional was Utah, Minnesota, LSU, and Auburn. Mm-hmm. Auburn, unfortunately, during the first night of competition, Sam Serio.
Oh my gosh.
Devastating injury.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
It was really tough to watch.
The good part about that is I didn't have to see it.
Yeah.
I missed it. I actually just like went outside to let the dogs out or something, and it was like, what happened?
Yeah.
And Chelsea said it was one of the most horrifying things that she ever saw.
It was terrifying.
Yeah.
So hopefully everything is okay with her and her family. It's really unfortunate that she's a senior and that's how her career ended.
I think that at some point we should look at the stats on that because a lot of times it is the seniors that have these injuries. That might be a Dave Tilley question about, because he's talked about just how the body at some point says no more.
Yeah, gives up. LSU had kind of a good lead, the majority of the meet. I wouldn't say it was anything astronomical.
They started on beam. That was the good part.
Yeah.
Right?
So they got kind of the iffy events.
I'd say with Florida, it actually wasn't the good part to start on beam.
Yeah.
But in LSU's case, they started on beam, which meant they got that out of the way.
And I would say it was pretty good.
It was a fine beam, as you said. They left beam in the lead for the second rotation.
Mm-hmm. And they kind of maintained that lead throughout the meet.
They did.
And Utah got near them to taking over the first position, but they never really got to that level.
And they had a good meet as well.
Yes. And Minnesota was kind of behind the majority of the meet. I would say in the last rotation, maybe they kind of had a chance, but it was really just LSU and Utah's meet.
Yes. And unfortunately, with Auburn, they didn't have their best meet at all.
But I would say on Friday, they put the injury to the side and they were amazing. They really looked like how they looked the beginning of season.
And hats off to Darian Goulburn. I mean, as a freshman,
she's going to nationals.
Yeah. And she should.
As a vault specialist.
She should. And I think the thing about Darian is after watching her all season and watching her during this postseason, she's got like her game day face on too.
Yeah.
You know, she's coming to play, you know? So
she's really settling down.
Yeah.
Like bringing it all together.
Yeah, she really is.
So this regional, I feel like it was fine. Like the gymnastics wasn't spectacular.
This regional was great.
Yeah, everyone just kind of skated by.
No, that's not what happened this regional. LSU did great and won this regional.
They did, but I feel like it just seemed like it wasn't like spectacular, lights out, we're going to kill it.
No, I agree with
any
that.
Of the teams.
No, and I agree with that. And I think the scoring shows that as well.
And then the last regional, the one that I thought was the sleeper regional.
Yeah.
Denver, Boise State, Florida, and Oregon State University.
We have to talk about it again. I think we've said everything that needs to be said.
I think Boise State looked fantastic. This was really kind of my first time watching them this season.
Mm-hmm. And you had said, keep an eye on them.
Yeah, and I was pleasantly surprised.
When we were filling out the brackets, you said, keep an eye on Boise.
Denver, I was really happy to watch them.
Watching Lindsay and Maddie and watching the whole team, but watching Lindsay and Maddie after having talked with them was really, really cool.
And I think what they mentioned in the interview last week really showed when watching them. They were really in their own bubble, in their own zone.
They are.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
We had the chance to listen to Coach Melissa after the meet, and she had an interview. And she was just like when she talked with us, just completely thrilled at the performance of the gymnast and completely thrilled to be going to nationals.
Yeah. And Oregon State ended on floor at home.
And the rest is history.
Yeah. So, again, another great regional. Unfortunately, Florida isn't advancing, but it was great gymnastics. And speaking of this regional, we actually got a tweet from Renee, who is our Australian listener.
Yes, we've got a couple.
We do. And she says this in quotes. Completely shook, but happy, patriotic, Aussie, yay, ISIS, end quote, mode right now. What a shocker. This is why the format change is so exciting. But I am devastated for Florida. Thank God we still get Alicia and Trinity.
Yeah, so they will still perform at nationals. Mm-hmm. And we also heard from Quad Salto, who says, so happy about this. Have been rooting for them. And after this week's interviews with Maddie, Lindsay, and Melissa, I was even more invested.
Yes, talking about Denver.
Talking about Denver winning the regional.
Yeah, which I'm very happy about because that's really what we hope to do whenever we bring on gymnasts and coaches from various schools. We hope to gain new fans of those teams.
Yeah, we do. And you know, we had been saying all year that we wanted to interview Denver because we had been watching their performance and their scores. And the fact that, you know, they've made it to 5th in the country, just in front of Utah, and that they win their regionals. It's like, you know.
It's literally like a storybook ending.
It is.
And it's not over yet.
No, it's not. It's not. And, you know, I think it'd be interesting to watch them at nationals go against Georgia. Of course, Oklahoma. And again, Oregon gets to compete against them again, too. So that'd be a fun, you know, day to watch.
Yeah. So the semifinals are solidified now that regionals is over. The first semifinal is UCLA, Michigan, Utah, and LSU. And again, only 2 teams from that semifinal advances to the finals.
Wow.
Who's your pick?
What are the teams again?
UCLA, Michigan, Utah, and LSU.
Oh, that's easy. UCLA and LSU.
Yes, I agree with you. And then semifinal number 2, which kind of threw a wrench in everybody's brackets. I'm sure there are no perfect brackets anymore, is Oklahoma, Georgia, Denver, and Oregon State University.
That's going to be a fun one to watch.
I think it's kind of
It's really between Denver and Georgia.
Yeah, it is.
Because Oklahoma is Oklahoma.
Exactly. Oklahoma's kind of just, they'll be there.
Class by themselves.
Yeah. And if Denver makes it to the finals, Mom,
that would be really nice.
That would be oh my gosh. Good. So who are you banking on?
Denver, of course. Denver and Oklahoma.
Me too.
Denver and Oklahoma.
That's what you think's going to happen.
Yes.
Yeah, me too. So
and Georgia and Sabrina Vega are out there, so
who knows?
And it's not home field advantage.
It's not. But it should be really good. So that's not until next weekend. Actually, this weekend is not a week off from gymnastics, everyone. It's USAG Collegiate National Championships, which is just as much fun as NCAA championships.
Yeah. And if we could actually travel up to Bridgeport, Connecticut and watch in person, we would.
We totally would. It's going to be such a great meet. This format is very similar to this new NCAA format, where there's 2 semifinal meets, and then the top 2 teams from those semifinals actually make it to finals. The teams in the first session are Lindenwood, which were just at regionals this past weekend.
Which is interesting that they compete twice.
Yeah, because they're good. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, just because they didn't make it to the final round doesn't mean they didn't win. It's like what you always say to me. What is winning to you, Mom? It's more of being able to say, we made it to regionals. We were one of the top 36 teams in the nation that made it to regionals. There are some Division I programs out there that can't say that. They didn't make it to regionals.
Yeah. We're not going to agree with this. So let's just keep it moving.
Guys, help me. Help me convince Mom.
Keep it moving.
So it's Lindenwood, Yale, Air Force, and Westchester in session 1. And then session 2 is Texas Women's, Cornell, UIC, and Bridgeport. And the sad part about this is that this is potentially maybe UIC's last meet.
That's right. That's right. You
because
mentioned
their program,
last episode.
Yeah, because their program is being cut after this year. So I'm actually kind of hoping for them to win nationals.
That would be great, wouldn't it?
It would. And I think I saw on College Gym News that if UIC wins nationals, this will be the school's only NCAA national championship.
Really?
Yeah, out of all of the sports in the school.
Wow. Yeah, so good luck to everybody.
Good luck to everyone. Hopefully there's a live stream. I'm sure there will be. But if you guys have the chance to watch it, watch semifinals or just watch finals. The finals is very, very entertaining. And there's really great gymnastics. Mm-hmm, They're doing the same skills as NCAA gymnastics.
Absolutely. So a lot of information covered in today's episode. A lot of fun. I think there are some questions, Chelsea, that you'll add for folks to answer. Like, do you like this new format?
Yeah. Let us know, guys, because obviously Mom and I are on 2 different pages here. But I think generally we kind of agree.
Generally, it was good.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was entertaining. Yeah. As a fan.
Yes, absolutely. There are just some tweaks that need to happen.
So if you like what you hear, be sure to give us 5 stars on the Apple Podcast app and make sure you review and subscribe so that you never miss an episode. And you can tweet us with your comments. Our Twitter is @RoutinePodcast, or you can leave us an email at info@theroutinepodcast.com, or you can leave us a voicemail on our website, theroutinepodcast.com.
And you do that by going to the top navigation. You'll see Be a Part of the Conversation. You click that, scroll to the bottom. You'll see a microphone. Click the microphone and leave us a voicemail message. We'd love to hear messages about this new format, telling me that I'm right and Chelsea's wrong.
No, don't do that.
Or just tell us how you feel about the teams that are advancing.
Mm-hmm. What are your predictions?
What are your predictions? That's a good one, because now we got to totally flip the script on our predictions.
Yeah, we do. And this is the last episode before our Nationals little mini-series.
Yeah, so that'll be fun.
Very fun. So thank you all for listening, and we'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.